Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, game number 2. Boit in the red color playing as the abusive set against the ridiculously powerful Magic here. You're also playing as set. So yeah, I do believe this was you can't pick the same god twice, and it seems to me that Magic is just as much of an Egyptian lamer as I am, and we both decided to go for the Egyptian wars to kick things off instead of trying to maybe give away an Egyptian win to trade for an Egyptian win later in the series or something like that. I think set theory, as it were, or set gameplay, set build orders really weren't that well developed at all. As you can actually see me going after the hyena here with 5 villages on food, no villages on gold. So you have to throw down the houses super early as well. Lots of goats being found, but we'll see how things will result in this game. As this is a very, very different game to, I get my priest spotted by the bloody hyena. How lucky can you get? Magic! The lucky man Magic, as Magic is doing exactly what I was doing, finding his hyena and converting them. Looks like he visioned over here and he didn't even see this, so it is what it is, as my priest is... What is it doing? I am tilted out of my mind here, it seems. As the hyena comes in, it's going to be shot away, and the priest will stay alive for a little bit longer. But where do you go? Come down to the bottom and maybe try and get a rhinoceros or something like that? Trying to be a little bit cute here and do some Pharaoh micro to make sure we get the hunt and get the priest back up to full HP. So I got to leave my hyena over here to try and prevent Magic from stealing this hunt away from me, as my hyena does get one shot at the Magic hyena, but they will be chasing each other forever here, as 4 watt speed is equal to 4 speed, and that's how it works. As Magic, on the other hand, here finishes up with his Rhino, going on to the lumber camp over here. Unlike on the Titans, on vanilla, you cannot get a classical town center. So doing things like getting early wood to get yourself a slight economic boost in the classical age makes a lot of sense in these kind of Egyptian wars. What doesn't make sense here is sending your villager forward to eat this giraffe when you could have jumped onto the rhinoceros here and enjoyed the very, very beautiful empower benefits of a pharaoh, which I'm sure Magic is taking nearly full advantage of. He does move his villagers over here relatively early instead of finishing off this rhino all in one go, as my my priest gets spotted yet again, very obviously wanting to move down and convert my rhino, as Magic is in full control of this early game. Absolutely furious that he lost that first one, so we'll see how things are going to go. Monuments of the Villagers coming up. So my villagers finish up on that rhino. They can eat the second rhino here as well, if they feel like actually working. As even if I said it was my prime, I am very slow. There's Magic. He's also got 3 villagers on wood. Did I get 3 villagers on wood? No, 2 villagers on wood. Why would you need 3? You just need pickaxe. You're going this many villagers on wood to get pickaxe and husbandry. As I got to heal my priest back up yet again. Quick! Back onto the empowering. Magic is going for a very fast advance here. Troop Tar in the Egyptian war. Now, advancing fast and using your shifting sands to steal 3 villages is probably the best way to play here, in all honesty, for set. Back in the day, you could shifting sands 3 villages away. But if your opponent advances at the same time, things can be much, much more difficult. This is a very, very late advance time from me, from way back then. I don't recommend this in the set war. I think set is much, much more scary. We see some priests coming out. There is a kind of a world where using shifting sands on these villages may be a mistake, because then you can use it a little bit later and... Oh, who's going to win this one? Ah, Magic wins this one. No. Drat. Magic is owning me in this game. As Magic does hit the second age. And a barracks going up from Magic. I don't remember this at all. He goes for 2 barracks here. He's going for a classical fight to try and control the hunt in this game. Whereas clearly, I am going for a fast heroic here. We'll see how things are going to go. But, I mean, a classical fight to some degree. Spearman to control the hunt. Make sure that he controls this hunt. And we'll see how it's gonna result. As Shifting Sands here does come through. He only gets 1 villager though. Absolutely huge. So the way that Shifting Sands worked back in vanilla, thank you for the 17 months there, Rule Guard Ding Dong. The way Shifting Sands worked back in the day is if you Shifting Sands something, say you clicked right in the middle on the priest, and then you clicked right in the middle on the town center, that priest would not have anywhere to transport to, so it wouldn't transport. As we do see some cheeky hyenas coming in onto this location to cause some problems here. As Magic is trying to snipe a villager, but I think we should be okay here. Very close to losing a villager. We've got the spearman coming in here. Very scary. Magic, on the other hand, here still producing some more units. As we see, I would probably consider Shifting Sandsing this back home if I was playing nowadays. I see the spearman run away, but it looks like we're just going to be losing 2 villagers here, which is actually quite a big loss. And apparently... Well, apparently I don't know how to use Shifting Sands either, as I can't bring my units back. What a clown fiesta this one is. Oh dear. We're just gonna jump back into this into the watchtower, and now we are attempting to get to the next stage. Do I have an armory up yet? Still no armory. This is an absolute clown fiesta. This one is. There's the priest coming back. He's gonna catch my priest. No. No, he gets the pile blocking, gets 1 kill. Magic, on the other hand, here is stopped production of the spearman. We got to get that armory up. This is very classic back in the day as well, of just using the pharaoh plus a handful of villagers to build the armory because it felt like it was fast. But in reality, you just lose out on a ton of resources by doing this. It's much better to just get 1 villager early in the classical age to drop an armory and take a minute to build it, rather than have like 10 villagers and a pharaoh building an armory, building it in 6 seconds, because a minute versus 6 seconds is the same thing. And obviously it's not 6 seconds. It's much slower than 6 seconds. Anyways, we do manage to get the early heroic age. I mean, after all, Magic did go for the double barracks here, and he did produce quite a few units. But I mean, I think in the end here, I think Magic probably could have gotten a faster heroic age here. Actually, in all honesty, given he didn't have all of the weird idle time that I had, but we do get Nephthys to come through. Animals coming through onto this location search. Not sure exactly what we're searching around for here, but you know, better to be active than not be active. Am I right? I'm not right. And are we going to be able to sneak a... this would be a very, very good for Migdol to sneak up on this location if it's at all possible. As we get some giraffe of set to come over here to eat to help out our village production line here. As my Gazelle of Set do manage to find themselves some priests in the middle of the map here. And we do drop the Migdol stronghold. This is a very, very safe Migdol stronghold, considering we see the entire army over here. But just making sure that we know what's in front of us. And then we're going to spend all of our banked wood on chariot archers straight away and realize we have not built any houses in this game. So this is peak, absolute peak Age of Mythology play here. At this point, as Nephthys does come through for Magic, and he is going to be able to put a Migdol wherever he wants. And this Savannah map here, The big thing about this, we don't see this type of map very often anymore. Very, very close 3rd and 4th town center. They're right in the same screen, which is a huge boost to Egyptian defense, basically, or Egyptian offense, because they can spam mercenary at the opponent. And I guess in the Egyptian mirror, it's just meaning that gold is a much more valuable resource. As I felt like I wanted to drop a Migdol or grab a town center, but maybe just a Migdol here wouldn't go astray as more houses coming down very, very slowly here. I think maybe just getting... Wait, where did that wood go? I spend it on more chariot archers. I'm not sure what I did with that wood that was in the bank there, but I thought maybe just getting heavy chariots here with the housing crisis wouldn't have been a bad idea. But yeah, right now, Magic's got a lot of resources in the bank. He's got his Migdol stronghold up, making some war elephants here. Going to make some siege towers as well. As we yet again are going to attempt to get ourselves this town center, and a pretty big misplay here thus far is, well, we will be able to steal or snipe some units here, but not going for it just yet. But a pretty big misplay thus far from old me is no siege works. Siege works are everything. Even if your opponent has got all those spearmen, siege works is still the play, because you kill the spearmen as they walk forward to try and kill off the siege towers. And they're not going to be able to survive for very long. So siege towers are still the right play here, as we see the army ready to start moving forward. As my chariot archers have got no idea where they're moving. They move straight into the opposing Magic's army here, as we do get a couple of, or a spearman as return fire here. As you have to marker this very, very good from the chariot archer side of things. But here's the thing right now. If I got any gold in the bank, which I do not, I can just mass mercenary here and have a really, really good time of defending against this army. Because mercenary cavalry plus chariot archers are going to hard win against these spearmen. As we do see the ancestors getting dropped there by Magic. And in response, ancestors also being dropped by myself here. And we'll see how the defense goes. As the army sitting in the middle of the map, and we're basically killing each other. We do have a priest advantage for Magic here, it would seem. As my Pharaoh getting right into the thick of it here. Magic not microing to take my Pharaoh out, as I finally decide maybe putting my Pharaoh in the middle of this fight is not a good idea. So those war elephants are going to be a very, very difficult thing to kill. You have to kind of micro this as best as you can, as I'm trying to pull back the elephants which are attacking me here, as my minions are all cleaned up here, it would seem. As we pull back ever so slightly, but it looks like Magic has got a very, very strong advantage here. Could build some mercenary here to hold on, or simply just pull away from this ancestors for a little bit here. Having this gold mine is not really that important. We still have a little bit of gold left in the main base, so it's not that important to hold on here. As I'm trying to build some units. No units are coming out, so we're in a bit of a sticky spot, trying to control our units as best as we possibly can, as the siege tower is pushing in onto this position over here with the war elephants coming in, as my chariot archers trying to chase down Magic's chariot archers over here, as we see some mercenary cavalry. I think hindsight would tell us that mercenary infantry are not the right answer here. Mercenary cavalry would stay alive for a much longer time with more HP and more pierce armor, but we do manage to hold the town center for the time being, and Magic's army mostly getting out-microed here as he gets cleaned up pretty hard over there. But behind this, Magic does get himself a town center. And he's actually going up to 3 town centers here, grabbing this one in the middle of the map as well. As the town center is up, I'm going to come over onto this gold mine. Continue along here. I think one thing you really do have to remember about back in the day is that there's a couple of things. So one big thing is that we didn't have sharing of resources in terms of information. We didn't share information at all back in the day. Very, very little, it was very difficult to get out of people kind of what the right strategy to do in a certain situation was, what good strategy was, all of this stuff. It was very, very like kept behind locked doors. So if you were the best player in Age of Mythology, like if you were AOM King winning with Zeus, you would never in a million years try and explain how to beat his Athena rush. He would never try and work that out. He would just continue to beat you with it over and over and over again, and you would just sit there being in a very difficult position. But
into you.
Now we've got the advent of YouTube, and everyone's very, very happily giving away information, because it's not really about like having the best strategy or whatever, or having the best build. It's not really important. That's not where the fun comes from games. Having really fun and highly competitive games is where all the fun really happens. As Magic going to try and push back in over here. Again, you can just build a mercenary cavalry out here and take out this siege tower. Trade one mercenary cavalry for a siege tower. It's not that big of a deal. Oh, garrison micro here. Look at the garrison micro. You don't see that very often. You don't see that very often. Whew. 2010, 2011.
Into you.
Cheeky little raids coming over here, but good defense thus far. Still not having the resources quite to drop this town center. We're still trying to micro as best as we can to stay alive in this game. Good micro yet again, sniping chariot archers without losing any. This was kind of the big thing that separated like the top players is their micro here, and you can now see that we aren't microing at all here, and going to be having to pull back ever so slightly. So our town center stays alive, and in that moment, seems like we decide game is over. Magic too far in front. 3 town centers, has a huge army, going to continue putting pressure on. That's a really nice strategy, to be honest, from Magic in this game, going for the early barracks to push off the food here. I don't think it would actually work unless you advance really fast in today's day and age. If you had this type of a Savannah spawn, you'd have to go for like a 4-minute advance or something with set and start spamming those spearmen out really fast to push your opponent off of hunt very, very early. Because what would happen in today's day and age is they would, like, the set player would probably be hitting, if they saw Anubis or they saw like spearmen coming, they would probably be hitting like a 7-minute heroic age. Or getting their town center up to defend against the classical army, and you're going to be in a really tough position. Not only that, you can also spam animals of set in your base, so there's not really much to fight for in a way. But Magic levels the series 1-1. It is a best of 5, so we'll get through all these games eventually. If you guys are enjoying it, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button. My name is Boit. This is me playing, but it was me playing in 2011. I'll see you guys in the next one.